Festival. I am so excited to get to share this workshop with you guys this year. It's been an amazing festival so far. I have learned so much from all of the amazing presenters and had a super great meditation this morning, super great yoga practice. So I'm really excited that we get to gather, even though it's, you know, a pandemic and we can't really physically gather together. This is a really good substitute. So today we're going to be talking about the chakras and basically what they are, how to spot a misalignment or an imbalance in them, and how to fix it. So starting out, what is a chakra? Basically, a chakra is a whirling vortex of energy, right? And we have 7 major chakras along the spine, but we also have like thousands of other chakras that we don't talk about so much. And today we're just going to talk about the 7 major ones because we only have an hour. But so a chakra happens anytime that 2 nadis intersect. And a nadi is a river of energy. So you have 3 main nadis, the Sushumna nadi, main channel that goes down the spine, as well as the Ida and the Pingala, which intersect each other almost like strands of DNA going up the spine. And that's where you get your 7 major chakras. But the body has 72,000 rivers of energy, or nadis. So you have, I mean, just imagine how many times those 72,000 intersect. You have that many chakras. So for today, though, again, we're just focusing on those 7 major chakras. And we are going to start with the first chakra, which is the root chakra, or the Muladhara chakra. And this chakra is, Muladhara means root support in Sanskrit. And the bija mantra, or the seed sound of this chakra, is lam. And it's actually sometimes considered gum. It just kind of depends on where you're listening. You'll hear it considered gum in the Ganesha mantra. And the element associated with this chakra is earth. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to go into that first chakra. Let's see. All right, here we go. So this chakra governs your feelings of safety and security, as well as your finances. And you'll know that it's balanced because you feel physically safe. You feel secure, you've got your finances in order, you've got all of your basic needs met, and you feel grounded and connected to that earth energy. But when it's out of balance, you'll notice things like anxiety or fear, or even nightmares and eating disorders that can come up, as well as physical problems with your back, your legs, your feet, and elimination as well. So some of the ways to get this chakra back in balance are using foods that are red in color, like beets and cherries and strawberries and things like that. You can also use crystals like jasper and ruby, garnet, and hematite. But one of the best ways to get this chakra working and back in balance is to actually physically get your feet grounded into Mother Earth. And you can do that by walking outside, getting your feet in some mud or in some sand or something earthy. And we'll also, you can also use essential oils actually, and different scents like aromatherapy. So scents like sage and Palo Santo, whether burned or oil, as well as patchouli and spruce. And so now we're going to get into some yoga poses that you can do for the first chakra. So go ahead and stop share there. Perfect. So we are going to start out just kind of seated, and I want you to come over onto your knees and tuck all 10 toes under into Dukkha pose, or this little toe stretch here. Make sure even your pinky toes are tucked under. And rest your palms facing down, which is symbolic of grounding. Allow your chin to drop down towards your chest and find some deep breaths. Now, for some of us, this can feel really intense, especially if your feet are typically in shoes. So if you feel like you need to get out of it for a moment, walk your hands forward to take the weight out of your feet, and then walk yourself back. And as you breathe here, breathe down into your pelvis, getting the breath as low as you can, almost like you're trying to press that breath into the root chakra, all the way down to the tailbone. And in your mind, maybe you take a moment to come up with an intention or an affirmation or even a mantra for your first chakra. Maybe something like, I'm safe, or I'm grounded, or I'm connected, whatever resonates with you. And if no mantra or affirmation comes to mind, just repeat that bija mantra, that sound lam in your mind. And stay here for 2 more deep breaths. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, draw the belly in and up. One more deep breath in through the nose. This time, maybe you exhale inside, out through your mouth. Now release your hands down to the ground, untuck your toes, and go ahead and tap out the tops of your feet. Get some fresh blood flow back into the toes. Now here for the second set, you're gonna sit back onto your heels again, just finding a slightly different stretch for the tops of your feet this time. And if this feels intense, of course, you can walk yourself forward, coming out of the stretch a bit. But if it doesn't feel intense enough, you can lean back a little bit, or even lift up your knees slightly to get more of a stretch in the top of your foot. And this one we won't hold for quite as long, just give it a couple more deep breaths. And one final breath. Now, next for the first chakra, we're gonna find another toe stretch. And you can either sit cross-legged for this, or if your hips are quite flexible, you can come into Adhanisthana or fire log pose, and then take your fingers in between your toes. So you're feeling for a stretch here in the toes. And again, breathe down as low as you can into your pelvic floor, feeling for ballooning the breath down into the root chakra. Maybe you close your eyes and you visualize the color red, or you visualize some earth. Imagine cool earth, like squishy mud or warm sand underneath your feet. I'm gonna go ahead and switch sides. So whatever like was crossed forward, you can switch, or take that Adhanisthana or fire log pose on the other side. Fingers between the toes, and a couple of deep breaths here. Inhale down into your hips. And exhale, feel your sit bones rooting down into the earth. Maybe seeing that color red. And then release your hands from your feet. Your final pose for your root chakra or the Muladhara chakra is Malasana. So here you might widen your feet quite a bit. And if your heels don't quite come down onto the mat, you can place a rolled blanket underneath your heels for some support. The goal here is to feel really grounded. So don't worry about getting into your deepest squat. You may need to rise up a little bit taller. And now feel for lifting up the inner arches of your feet. And if you're not sure what that means, try to scrunch the ball of your foot and your heel together, spread through your toes. Inhale deeply into your pelvic floor, ballooning the breath down into that space of red of root chakra. And exhale, sink down through the sit bones, feeling for your tailbone lengthening. Final breath here. Now, if this feels really good and you just want to get your primal squat in for the day, you can go ahead and stay right here or come into any other seat. Maybe Baddha Konasana this time as we move energy up into the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is located at the area of the sacrum. That's that triangular bony plate at the base of your low back. And it's the area of your hips. The sacral chakra is called SVADHISTHANA in Sanskrit, which means dwelling place of the soul. And what's interesting is the psoas muscle, which is a hip flexor muscle, area of the hips, is actually in Taoism considered the muscle of the soul as well. So in two different, schools of thought, we have this area as being the seat or the home of the soul. So the color here is orange, and the element is water. And the bija mantra or the seed sound of this chakra is vam. And I like to think of that as like ba ba boom happening in your hips. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here for the next chakra. There we go. Cool. So Svadhisthana chakra governs your emotions, your creativity, your sensuality, sexuality, relationships, and reproduction. When it's balanced, you have healthy creativity. Creativity flows to you easily. You have an overall sense of vitality and health. So healing, play, creativity, and your relationships all happen here. You're able to play, and you have balance and healthy sexuality, and you have healthy emotions. So you're in touch with them, but you're not overcome or drowning in them. When it's out of balance, you might feel like a lack of intimacy or emotional instability, stifled creativity, or things like addictions and fear of change can all happen in here too, as well as depression or reproductive issues as well. So ways to get the second chakra in order are eating foods like oranges, mangoes, peaches. Think food with a high water content. Stuff that's high in omega-3s is also good for this chakra, and coconut water. Getting in touch with your creativity and your inner child. So doing things like play, maybe that's writing or drawing or painting, maybe it's dancing, whatever your creative outlet is perfect for this chakra. Also crystals like orange calcite, carnelian, amber, and aquamarine. And essential oils that are citrusy, so like wild orange and lemon and bergamot, as well as geranium, rose, and fennel. And then we will do a couple of yoga poses for the second chakra. So the first one that we'll do is Skandasana. So let me go ahead and stop share here. All right, so for Skandasana, you're gonna come into a wide-legged forward fold. Widen your feet towards the edges of your mat. And then bend deeply into one knee, just coming to whatever point your hips and your hamstrings will allow you to. And just take a second here to hold. And I want you to bring that element of water into your mind. So as you're holding, maybe you're finding a tiny bit of movement, maybe just a little pelvic tilt. Maybe you're rising up out of the pose and then sinking back down into it. Whatever would feel good for you here, but get that thought of fluidity into your mind. One more breath on this side. And then crawl your way over to the other side. And again, maybe you're playing with a little bit of a pelvic tilt, or coming a little bit up and a little bit down, back into the pose, whatever would feel good. Couple more deep breaths here. And as you're here, maybe you start to think of an affirmation or an intention or a mantra for this chakra. Something like, I am creative, or I'm in touch with my emotions, or I have healthy relationships, whatever resonates with you. Now from here, I want you to find some really fluid, happy, like just playful movement. So maybe going just side to side in your Skandasana, maybe adding in some little movements or twists or binds, whatever would feel good for you. You can take it side to side, go kind of however you'd like, bringing in that element of water into your practice. Not getting too stuck in whether or not what you're doing is considered a pose, or if it's not a pose, that's okay. Couple more breaths of free movement. All right, one last breath here. Now we're going to transition without thinking about it too much into cat-cow. So glide your hands underneath your shoulders and stack your knees under your hips. And we're going to focus just on doing cat-cow in the area of the sacrum. So feel for dumping the belly slightly down, lifting up through the sit bones, and then pulling the belly in, sending the tailbone down. This is sometimes called a poppy cat-cow. Inhale to drop the belly, lift your sit bones. And exhale, draw the belly in, press down through your shins. One more round of that. Finding some fluidity in the hips. Now close your eyes and find some free movement. So maybe you're making big circles. Maybe you're moving through child's pose all the way forward into up dog. And maybe you're sticking with those regular cat-cows. Whatever would feel good for you. Call in that element of water. And allow yourself to get fluid and playful. Maybe even ask your inner child what would feel good here, what would be interesting. Just here for another breath or two. And at the bottom of your second exhale, begin to make your way back down to a comfortable seat. Moving energy up to the third chakra, the solar plexus or the Manipura chakra. So this chakra is Manipura, which means lustrous gem. And I want you to think of like this beautiful yellow diamond in your belly. That's basically this chakra. It connects to the element of fire. There's a lot of heat that happens in this chakra, and the bija mantra, sorry, for this chakra is Ram. So go ahead and share that screen. All right. So for the Manipura chakra, this is considered your make it happen chakra. It's where your drive, your confidence, your sense of direction all come from. It governs your digestion, your metabolism, self-esteem, confidence, energy, and drive. When you have balance happening in the Manipura chakra, you feel self-confident, you feel driven, you have clear goals in mind, and you're taking active steps towards making those goals happen. You're making your dreams happen, and your digestion is healthy. When it's out of balance, though, you might have trouble with digestion, maybe a lack of purpose or low self-esteem. Eating disorders can also come from this chakra, as well as things like narcissism. So to get this chakra in balance, foods like complex carbs, as well as foods that are yellow in color. So think lemons, bananas, ginger, pineapple, yellow squash, corn, and also things that are high in fiber like oats and quinoa and farro can be really good for this chakra. Setting goals for yourself and actually taking active steps towards making those goals happen is really healing for this chakra. Even if it's a small goal, like if your goal is by the end of this year, I want to have a really solid down dog. Awesome. Doing down dog every day or doing little drills to give yourself a more solid down dog throughout the year will be amazing for this chakra, even if doing a perfect down dog doesn't make you a better person, you know, but whatever your big dreams are, chunking those into small bits that are digestible can be really good for this chakra. And it governs your digestion, but another way that you can think of that is that it's the way that you digest life. So all the experiences that you take in, you are digesting in some way. So the way that you feel about the things that happen to you or for you happen in the Manipura chakra. Crystals like yellow topaz and tiger's eye and fool's gold are also really great for this chakra. And essential oils like lemon, lemongrass, and bergamot are all great for this chakra. And so we're going to do a little bit of pranayama for this chakra. See, there we go, perfect. So we're going to do some Kapalabhati to build some heat in this chakra, and then we'll get into some core work. So for Kapalabhati, you can sit cross-legged or kneeling, whatever feels most natural to you. And Kapalabhati is skull shining breath, so it can actually be really good for crown chakra too, but we're going to use it here today. So get comfortable and take a deep breath into your belly and fill up your belly with breath. And then exhale, let all the breath go. Take a couple more deep breaths into your belly, feeling for the area of the solar plexus fully expanding with your breath. For Kapalabhati today, we'll take 3 rounds of 30. And Kapalabhati is a really quick exhale through the nose. You don't have to worry about the inhalation. Your body will naturally inhale. So just focus on forcing the breath out while at the same time snapping the belly in and up. So we'll begin round 1. Take a deep breath in. Exhale all the breath out. Now inhale to just half capacity to prepare. And begin. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now take a deep breath in. Begin round 2. Snap the belly in and up, doing that 30 times. As you do this round, really feel for snapping the belly in and up and creating some heat. As you do this, what you're doing is helping to energize the body to clear away any toxins or any stuck energy or any old breath from the solar plexus. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Final round. Deep breath in to prepare. And begin. Last set of 30. Three, 2, and 1. Deep breath in. This time you're going to hold the breath. Fill up your belly completely and hold, 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 hold. As you do Kapalabhati, you create all of this energy, all of these good things. You want to hold the breath so that your body can hold on to it and put that energy where it needs to go. When you can't hold the breath any longer, exhale, let it go. All right, now we're gonna get into some core work. So lie down on your back. And we'll start out pretty gentle with some core integration. Place your hands on the top crest of your hips. You'll have your knees bent, feet resting on the mat. And just notice the natural curve in your low back, your lumbar spine, that little curve that like lifts your back off the mat. Take a deep breath in, breathing into that curve. Then pause your breath, press your low back down, lift your hip bones up towards your ribs and pull your ribs down towards your hip bones. Now exhale, pull your low belly down. Do that again. Inhale, relax your back, come back into that neutral spine, natural curve. Pause your breath, press your low back down, curl tailbone up, lift your hip bones up and pull your ribs down. Exhale, pull low belly down, like you're pulling on a corset. One more round like that. Inhale, come back to your neutral spine, feel the pelvis, come back into neutral. Pause your breath, squish your low back down, lift your hip bones up towards your ribs, pull ribs down towards hip bones. Exhale, pull the whole shape of your belly down and in. Inhale, relax that, come back into a neutral spine. Each of the next abdominal exercises that we're doing, don't get worried, it's not too many, but we're gonna use that same activation. Cross your right leg over your left like you're going into an eagle wrapped shape, or just like you're sitting comfortably in a chair. Lift your feet up and stack your knees over your hips. Then pancake your hands on top of your right thigh. Your head's gonna stay down for this. Take an inhale into that space beneath the low back. Pause your breath, press your low back down, lift your hip bones up towards ribs, ribs down towards hip bones, squeeze your thighs together. Now exhale, push your hands against your thighs, resist your thighs back against your hands and pull your low belly down. Inhale, relax that, come back into a neutral spine. Two more. Pause your breath, press low back down, curl tailbone up, lift your hip bones up towards ribs, squeeze your thighs together. Exhale, push, hands against thighs, push your thighs back against your hands, find some shakes and pull the low belly down. Relax your shoulders as you do this. One more round, inhale, relax. Pause your breath, press low back down, curl tailbone up, lift the hip bones up, squeeze your thighs together. Exhale, push, hands into thighs, thighs back into hands, keep pushing your low back down and squeeze the low belly down. Inhale, release, and switch the crossing of your legs, left over right this time. Pancake your hands on top of your left thigh. Again, take a deep breath into the belly. Pause your breath, squish your low back down, curl tailbone up, lift your hip bones up, squeeze thighs together. Exhale, push, hands against thighs, thighs against hands, find some shakes, and pull the low belly down. Two more like that. Inhale, feel the pelvis come back to neutral, feel that little space beneath the low back. Pause your breath, press low back down, curl tailbone up, squeeze your thighs together. Exhale, push, hands into thighs, thighs back into hands, pull the low belly down, feel that heat rising in the belly. And last round, inhale into your neutral spine, feel that space come back beneath the low back. Pause the breath, press the low back down, curl tailbone up, squeeze thighs, exhale, push. Resist your hands and thighs against each other and pull the low belly down. Soften your jaw as you do this. And release that. All right, last round of abs here. We're gonna come into elbow to knee, which is basically like slow bicycles. So lift your knees up over your hips and clasp your hands together behind your head, right at the hairline. Lift your elbows up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in and lift your chest and shoulders up. And then pause your breath, press the low back down, curl tailbone up. Exhale, twist your elbows towards your left knee. Either reach your right leg straight up into the air or extend it forward to a 45-degree angle for a little more challenge. Pull the belly down. Inhale, bend both knees, coming back to center. Pause, breath, press the low back down, curl tailbone up, exhale, twist, elbows to the right, extend your left leg either forward or up and pull your low belly down. Two more rounds per side. Inhale, back to center. Pause, press low back down, curl tailbone up, exhale, twist elbows to the left, extend the right leg, pull low belly down. And last one, inhale, bend both knees, come back to center. Pause, press low back down, curl tailbone up, twist elbows to the right, extend the left leg forward, pull belly down. Inhale, bend both knees. Set your head down, set your feet down, and take a moment to lay your hands on your belly and breathe into your Manipura chakra, that lustrous gem. And as you breathe, maybe you remind yourself of one goal that you have, one dream that you have. Visualize what it would feel like to have that dream come true. And then at your own pace, you can come back to seated, or if you'd like to listen laying down, that's okay too. Moving energy up to the heart chakra, the ANAHATA chakra, located, of course, at your heart. This one is a little bit more obvious. The Bija mantra for this one is yum, and that's kind of easy to remember because yum is like, it's yummy. It's the key to your heart is food, well, mine at least. And the color is green, and the element here is air. Anahata means unstruck. So no matter what happens to the heart, no matter what we've been through, no matter what we will go through, the heart is always just as strong as it always was. And you can kind of think of it like the sun. I mean, the sun, some days there's clouds and you can't see the sun, but you know it's still there. No matter how many storms come through, the sun is always just as strong, just as bright. And the heart is the same. Your heart is unstruck, it's unchanged, no matter what you've been through, no matter what you will go through. And the heart is also the middle way, that space right between the material and the spiritual. And even when you think of air, or like your breath, air is, you can feel it, but you can't see it. So the heart is kind of like that space right in between, that perfect balance. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. All right, so the heart chakra is pretty obvious. It governs your love, your kindness, your compassion, your generosity, and feelings of empathy. When it's balanced, you're able to give and receive love freely. You feel compassionate towards all sentient beings. You are forgiving. You feel love and acceptance towards both yourself as well as others. But when it's out of balance, you might feel things like jealousy. You could hold grudges. You could experience grief for prolonged periods of times, have experiences like hatred or physically heart problems. Ways to get that chakra back in balance are eating dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, bok choy, chard, all the good stuff. And things that are green, so like broccoli, zucchini, celery, cucumber. Most of the vegetables help the heart chakra. And then experiences like gratitude can be really healing for the heart chakra. And gratitude can be a practice. So you could maybe journal on 3 things you're grateful for in the morning or the evening or throughout the day. Those are all really great practices for the heart. Crystals like emerald, green fluorite, and rose quartz are really beautiful for heart healing. And essential oils like rosemary, melissa, and jasmine, rose, and lavender are all beautiful for the heart as well. So I wanted to first go into a little mantra practice. We'll say the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. And you can do that out loud or in your mind, whatever's most comfortable for you. But if you're at home and no one's around, I encourage you to use your voice. So the words are Om Mani Padme Hum. And that basically means may my heart open like the petals of a lotus flower. There's other translations too, but that's the first one I learned and it just resonates. So you can close your eyes or keep them open, totally up to you. We're gonna chant those words together 3 times. Om Mani Padme Hum. So say it with me. Deep breath in. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. And just feel the way that those words resonate in your heart. If you ever need a way to meditate for your heart chakra, chanting those words, Om Mani Padme Hum, is a really beautiful way to help to open up your heart. And we'll also do just a little bit of yoga for the heart as well. Kind of yoga, kind of more self-massage, but that's okay. So we'll begin with the peace fingers of your left hand, just above and below the right collarbone. So you want to find the muscles above and below. Your right arm can rest by your side or it can be behind your back, whatever is comfortable for you. So take a deep breath into your heart. And as you exhale, use your left hand to press down into those muscles. And that might feel good enough. You can also cross fiber just by lightly sliding the fingers side to side along the collarbone muscles. And then move your fingers another inch closer to the shoulder, just sliding up that bone. Deep breath in, breathe into your fingers. Exhale, press down, maybe cross fiber, slide side to side. And then move another inch. Take another full breath in, breathing into the collarbone. Exhale, press down and lightly cross fiber, slide side to side. And if you run out of space, that's okay. If you have a little bit more room, go even further to the very edge of that bone that you can access. Deep breath in. Exhale, press down, and option 2, gently cross fiber. All right, we're gonna do the other side. So right peace fingers just above and below the left collarbone. Left arm can relax. Deep breath into the collarbones. Exhale, press down and lightly cross fiber. And then move your finger 1 inch closer to the shoulder. Deep breath in, balloon the breath into your heart space. Exhale, press down and cross fiber, slide side to side. And then move your fingers another inch. Another deep breath in, expand your breath high into your chest. Exhale, press down and cross fiber. You can either stay where you are, or if you have the space, move another inch closer to the shoulder. Take another full breath in, breathe into your heart. Exhale, press your fingers down and maybe cross fiber, slide side to side. And release your hands down. Take a deep breath into your heart, feeling for any new spaciousness that you may have created. And feel into that sensation of giving love to yourself. This is a really easy self-massage technique that you can spend more time on for yourself, either in your yoga practice, before or after meditation, or if you do Abhyanga, which is oil massage, that's another way that you can add it in. So we will do just one more pose for the heart chakra. We'll be going into camel pose. So come over onto your knees, and then you'll sit all the way up and place your hands on either side of your sacrum. Then draw your belly in, lengthen your tailbone down. This doesn't have to be the deepest camel you've ever gone into, but just feel for spreading open the collarbones. Lift up through your chin and chest, and then maybe start to press the hips forward as you lift your ribs up and back. Take a deep breath in, expand your breath into your heart. Maybe choosing an affirmation, an intention, or a mantra for the heart. Like, I am loved, or I forgive. Inhale, breathe that intention into your heart space. Lift the heart another centimeter. And exhale, sit back down onto your heels. Rest your palms facing down for a moment. Let your chin come down towards your chest. One final breath into the heart. And then find a comfortable seat. So next, moving energy up towards the throat chakra, the VISHUDDHA chakra, which means purification. The throat chakra, the color for it is blue, and it connects to, I know it's not really sound, but to the element of sound. And the Bija mantra for this chakra is hum. And it's easy, I think, to remember this one because humming is like part of music, and music is throat chakra territory. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen now. All right. So the VISHUDDHA chakra governs your communication, listening, speaking the truth, and honesty. And when you think of throat chakra, we have a difference. There's a difference between my truth, your truth, and the truth. So an objective truth versus a subjective truth. And so this is area of full truth, not just my truth, not just your truth, but the truth. But being able to speak your truth, that's truly the only truth that we can speak. So that's from this territory. And hearing truth is a whole nother thing, right? A lot of times we hear a story and what do? We misinterpret it. We read a text and we read so much attitude into it, and we're like, oh, these are fighting words. When in truth, they just said, can you go to the store, please? But in your mind, you turned it into something else. We've all done that. So throat chakra, hearing truth, listening for truth, sometimes it can get distorted if we're not clear in the throat chakra. When it's balanced, you're able to speak the truth from your heart. You're able to express your ideas, get them across clearly, and you're also a really good listener. When it's out of balance, however, things like misunderstandings, dishonesty, and inability to communicate all come up. Also, fear of not being accepted can live in throat chakra, and other things like sore throat or other throat problems. So when you think of ways to balance out the throat chakra, think of foods that feel good on your throat. So maybe it's hot tea with honey and lemon, or a really nourishing soup, but also foods that are blue, like berries, blueberries or blackberries. Chanting, singing, listening to music, and speaking things out loud are really good for the throat chakra. Your brain processes things differently if it's said out loud versus if it's just in your head. That's why talk therapy works. But that's throat chakra territory, actually saying the things that you need to say out loud. Also, crystals like sapphire and aquamarine and other things that are blue in color are healing for throat chakra. And essential oils like frankincense, sandalwood, jasmine, neroli, and rose. And we will do a little bit of yoga for this chakra. So we'll do a seated neck release. Just find a comfortable seat of any kind. You could sit cross-legged in Baddha Konasana, or even extend one leg out into a half straddle. And then place your right hand down onto the mat beside you. Reach out through your left fingertips, and then relax your right ear down to your right shoulder. Take a deep breath in, breathing into the left side of your neck. And exhale, maybe tilt the chin a little bit forward and a little bit back, feeling into that perfect angle for the left side of your neck. And as you do this, breathe deeply, expanding the breath high into your collarbones, sending the breath up into your neck. And at the same time, relax your jaw. Jaw is part of throat chakra. Full breath in. And exhale, relax one layer deeper. As you breathe into the side of your neck, begin to choose an affirmation, a mantra, or an intention for the throat chakra. Maybe it's something simple like I listen, or I speak the truth from my heart. And to come out, set your left hand down first and lovingly place your right hand on your cheek. Use your hand to help your head up. So we just stretch those muscles. We don't want to work them right away. Set your left hand down. Reach out for your right fingertips, hover them a couple inches from the ground, and settle the left ear towards your left shoulder. And again, maybe tilt the chin a little bit forward and a little bit back, feeling for the perfect angle for the right side of your neck. Breathe deeply into the right side of your neck, the chest, even the upper back. Relax your jaw. And in your mind, start to repeat that mantra or affirmation for the throat chakra. Breathe that intention in. Visualize a beautiful blue color. Blue is like a cloudless sky radiating from the throat. Now place your right hand down, set your left hand on your cheek, and use your hand to help your head up. Now lovingly place your hands around your throat like a scarf, or even place one hand in front, one hand in back, whatever feels most natural or comfortable for you. And we'll do just a bit of Brahmari or honeybee breath. So Brahmari is an inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, you'll hum out. As you hum, feel for vibrating the throat chakra. We'll take just 2 of these. Deep breath in. Exhale and hum out. And do that one more time, really feeling for buzzing up the space that your hands are touching. Deep breath in. Exhale and hum it out. Keep your eyes closed, keep your hands where they are, and think back to a time where you wish you would have said something. Wish you would have spoken up for yourself or spoken your truth. And think about what that truth sounded like. Maybe it was one word. Maybe it was no. Maybe it was something else. Maybe it was a boundary that you wish you would have set. Whatever that might be, think of that in your mind. And I want you to, out loud, if it's comfortable, out loud, say those words. Repeat them 3 times. And let yourself get a little bit loud. If there's no one home, maybe you yell those words out. After that 3rd time, relax your hands down. We're moving energy up to the 3rd eye chakra, the space right between the brows. The 3rd eye chakra is called AJNA in Sanskrit, which means beyond wisdom or to perceive. And the bija mantra, or the seed sound of this chakra, is Om. And it responds to the element of light. Go ahead and share my screen. So the 3rd eye governs our wisdom, our imagination, our intuition, and the body's natural wisdom. It also governs things like psychic abilities, like telepathy, clairvoyance, and even just being able to see things clearly as they truly are. So not blinded by our past experiences, not muddled by our perception, but actually seeing truth. When it's balanced, you are intuitive. You have clear sight, clear perceptions, you're focused, and you're able to trust your instincts. But when it's out of balance, we may have an inability to focus. We see false perceptions, like we're making up those stories around what something actually is. We have a lack of imagination, lack of intuition, and things like headaches and sinus issues can come up. Ways to get this chakra balanced are by eating purple foods and foods that are known to help with brain wisdom. So vegetables like purple cabbage, purple carrots, and eggplant. Fruits like purple grapes, durian, dates, and figs. Cacao can be really helpful, which helps to boost our serotonin. Ginkgo biloba, GABA amino acids, which also help promote brain function, and walnuts. Meditation on the 3rd eye is incredibly useful for getting this back into alignment, and doing eye yoga like palming, which we'll do in a moment. Crystals like amethyst and fluorite are known for helping to cleanse that lens so that you can see more clearly, and quartz. And the essential oils are helichrysum, rosemary, and cypress that are healing for 3rd eye. All right. So we will do just a little bit of yoga for the 3rd eye chakra. So we'll get into actually standing positions. Coming up to standing, using a drishti is really important for the 3rd eye, so using our focus. So we'll start out in an eagle pose. Bend your knees, send your hips back like you're going into chair. And eagle wrap your left elbow underneath your right. You can either bring back to the hands together, cross at your wrists, whatever's comfortable here. And then lift the right leg up and over your left. Take a moment to establish a drishti. Lock your eyes on one spot. And then begin to unwrap the right leg and reach back and forward into a warrior 3 with eagle arms. And we're going to do this 3 times. Come up to standing, drive your right knee into your chest, balance on the left leg, and then tilt back into warrior 3. 2 more. Drive right knee to chest, stand up, and back into warrior 3. Final round, pull your knee in towards your chest. And then from here, set your right foot down, come back into chair pose. Unwrap and rewrap your arms, right arm under the left this time. Lift up your left leg, cross it over the right. Establish your drishti, and now establish a mantra or an intention for the 3rd eye. Something simple like I see clearly, or I'm intuitive, or I'm imaginative. Unwrap the left leg. Repeat that mantra in your mind as you tip back into warrior 3. And then pull the knee in towards your chest, come up to stand. 2 more. Extend the leg back, warrior 3. Keep your eyes locked on that drishti. Say that mantra in your mind, knee to chest, come up to standing. Last round, extend your leg back, warrior 3. And pull your knee in towards your chest. Now release your foot back down, release your arms, and come back to a comfortable seat. Right, last little bit of yoga for the 3rd eye. Once you're in a comfortable seat or even a standing position, rub your palms together. Build some heat in your hands. you're wearing glasses, set them to the side. Once your hands feel hot, close your eyes and place the heels of your hands on your eyelids. Feel that heat that you've generated in your palms moving into the eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release your hands from your eyes, rub your palms back together, build more heat. Once you feel heat in your hands again, place the heels of your hands on your eyelids. Now with your eyes closed, feeling that heat in your hands into your eyes, look all the way up and all the way down. Look as far up as you can, as far down as you can. Now flick the eyes forward and back between those 2 points, going as fast as you can, like windshield wipers, clearing away some debris off of that lens. Deep breath in. Exhale, release your hands from your eyes, rub your palms together, last round. Build that heat. And once your hands are really hot, place heels of the hands onto the eyelids with your eyes closed. Now look as far to the right as you can and as far to the left as you can. All the way right, all the way left, all the way right, all the way left. Flick your eyes back and forth between those 2 points. Again, like you're seeing a windshield wiper, clearing away any false perceptions. Keeping your eyes closed, release your hands, palms facing down onto your knees. Center your focus onto that space between your brows, the third eye. And use your mind to clear away any debris, anything that was stuck, anything that you don't need any longer. Some of us walk around with sunglasses on, color everything a little bit darker than it really is. And some of us walk around with rose-colored glasses. We see everything tilted or tinted, just a little bit different. And so when we see from the third eye, we see without those lenses, just perfectly, clearly, and beautifully. Right. You can go ahead and open your eyes. Now moving on to the final chakra, the crown chakra, or the Sahasrara chakra. This is the 1,000-petaled lotus, and it is involved with self-realization and enlightenment. The crown chakra, the bija mantra, is actually a silent om said only in your head. So it's the same as the third eye, but not, because it's quiet. And the element is thought. So I'll go ahead and share my screen now. This chakra is considered that 1,000-petaled lotus, and it represents enlightenment, removing the veil, self-realization. It allows us to feel connected to our own spirit, as well as to all sentient beings and to source. So it's really a space of connectedness. And this chakra isn't so much about balanced or not balanced, it's actually open or closed. So when it is open, you have the experience of surrender to the divine, the experience of oneness, of connection to all sentient beings, and an understanding that we are one cosmic consciousness. We are one. There is no loneliness, there is no us versus them, but we are together. When it's not open, we experience things like headaches, feelings of disconnect or loneliness, and obsession with the material or attachment to the material. Ways to get it balanced. The crown chakra really is a space of silence, of meditation, of no stimulation, if that makes sense. So rather than using foods, we actually use safe fasting instead. And there's safe and unsafe fasting, of course, we all know that. But doing healthy juice cleanses, or even just meditation on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, is really cleansing for the crown chakra. Meditation, of course, is the best thing for it. Things like pranayama, especially Kapalabhati, we did earlier for the Manipura chakra, but Kapalabhati means skull shining breath, and so it is good for both. Float tanks, and just taking time for silence. Even if it's just maybe the first half hour of your day, not touching your phone and just being with yourself in silence, that's a really beautiful way to connect with and open that chakra. Crystals like amethyst and selenite are really great for the crown chakra. And essential oils or aromatherapy, things like sage, lavender, frankincense, which is really holy and sacred, and juniper and jasmine are all great for the crown chakra. So for the crown chakra, inversions are really helpful because you feel that blood rush to the head. So we're going to go into downward facing dog. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. There we go. All right. So ground your palms, send your hips up and back, and feel the weight of your head releasing down towards the earth. Get strong through your hands and through your legs. Lift up through the sit bones and begin to feel the sensation of blood rushing into your head. As you breathe here, visualize a beautiful white light radiating from the crown of your head. And within this white light, start to see petals unfolding one by one. Maybe they open slowly. Maybe it's like a time lapse and they're opening fast. And take one more breath with this visualization. And then gently release your knees back down to the mat and lie all the way down onto your back for Shavasana. Shavasana is the most perfect shape to be in for the crown chakra. So lie down, get comfortable. It doesn't really matter what kind of a Shavasana you're in as long as your body is comfortable. So you can take different variations. And now in your mind, once you're comfortable, start to see a bright red light radiating from the tailbone, the MULADHARA chakra, connecting to your safety. And if you remember the affirmation statement that you set for that first chakra, repeat that in your mind. And then move your awareness upwards slightly to the area of the sacrum. Breathe into your hips and see a bright orange light radiating from the sacrum into the hips. Feeling creative, connected to your emotions, healing and play. And if you remember your affirmation for that second chakra, repeat that in your mind. Move awareness upwards into the solar plexus chakra, the Manipura. See that beautiful golden light like sunshine radiating from your belly. Feeling strong, driven, and digesting experiences and food with ease. If you remember your mantra for the third chakra, repeat that in your mind. Move awareness up to your heart, ANAHATA chakra, unstruck. And see a beautiful green light radiating from your heart. Feeling love for yourself and others, universal love. Forgiving. And if you remember the affirmation that you set for your heart, repeat that in your mind. Move awareness up to the space of the throat, visualizing a beautiful blue light like the sky on a cloudless day. Communication, listening, speaking your truth. If you remember the mantra that you set, repeat that in your mind. Or if you remember that statement that you needed to say that in your mind. Empower yourself with your words. And then move energy up to the third eye, space between the brows, the AJNA chakra. See an indigo light here, radiating from the third eye into the eyes and the brain. And repeat your mantra for the third eye, connecting to your imagination, your intuition, your ability to perceive things clearly. And finally, center your awareness at the crown of the head, the SAHASRARA chakra, the 1,000-petaled lotus. Feeling for connection to the divine, to source, connection to all sentient beings. Recognize that we are all one. We all hold the thread in the web. And repeat a mantra or affirmation for the crown. Maybe it's simple, like I am connected. Imagine a beautiful white light cascading over you from the crown of your head, over your whole body. Allow yourself to feel cleansed, rebalanced, and restored. And now start to deepen your breath. Breathe through the rainbow lights of your spine. And invite in some subtle movements like wiggling your fingers or your toes. And gently turn your head from side to side, reawakening your spine. Take a deep breath in and stretch your arms over your head like you just woke up from a nap. Point your toes, stretch your whole body long, move in any way that feels good for you. And eventually roll over onto your side into a fetal position. And gently press yourself all the way back up into a comfortable seat. Once you arrive, place your hands together at your heart and close your eyes. With your eyes closed, see those rainbow lights from the base of your spine all the way up to the crown of your head. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. My name is Adriana. If you have any questions at all, just write them in that chat box. Namaste. Right, and now we do have a couple of minutes for questions. One last thing, I do have a little ebook for you guys. So if you would like my free chakra balancing ebook, which has all the information and more that I went over throughout this workshop, if you text OC Yoga to 33777, you will receive that free ebook. So it's OC Yoga to 33777. All right. And let me stop sharing here. Awesome. So really quick, thank you to our amazing sponsors, pH Water, Cold Kombucha, Suja Juice, and Viore. And then we are just going to go ahead and open up for any questions. So if you have questions for me, go ahead and write those in the chat or in comments on YouTube. Thank you so much, Christy. Well, if there's no questions, I hope you guys have a wonderful festival. Enjoy the rest of the classes tonight. I know I will. And I hope to see you guys in the future. Bye, everybody. Namaste.